Hey guys, welcome to Grounded Roots Healing. On location at my humble abode here, putting my feet on the ground. Let's get both of them on there. These dirty boots in a farming community where I live here. I just did a video for my Patreon subscribers about staying at peace, staying heart-centered, and how you just can't lose. And it was triggered by watching a video on one of my favorite tarot readers, Nordic Light Tarot, and she had one of her readings, which is the one I resonated with. She was talking about going outside and going and grabbing that thing and going out and getting that thing that you want or that you've always wanted. And I have to disagree with it. I think that that's a trap. My instinct was immediately, this is wrong. This isn't the right thing to do. It's always the right thing to go into the heart center on every single occasion. No matter which way you slice it. So, hopefully this isn't too windy. So when I had my 3-day enlightenment last year, I was sitting there in blissed out consciousness. Nothing on the outside was better. Nothing immediately was any better. But I was. Everything was right. It didn't matter what the outside was happening on the outside at all. Not even a little bit. It was all about going in and being heart-centered at all times. So this is the goal. If you can do this, you can't lose. You cannot lose. I had people following me around a local grocery store because they just loved the look of my smile, is what one older lady said to me. Like, it's kind of disturbing a little bit, but it was true. And, I could immediately, in that state of complete peace and enlightenment, bring their higher selves up into them. And that's what they were sensing. So whatever was bothering them that day, as soon as they would see my light, they would immediately bring all of their light up. And if you can do this, how can you lose? Everyone's going to love you. Well, almost everyone. Anyone playing for the other team is going to despise you in the complete opposite. So, back to the breath, back to the heart, back to the knowing that nothing outside of you matters. And it will all fall into place when you can do that. This is why all of these spiritual teachings teach you to go back to the breath. Back to the immediate moment. Back to, what does Eckhart teach? Presence. What does that mean? That means staying in the moment. Not thinking about the future, not thinking about the past. You're in the moment right now, like I am when I'm doing this video. I'm trying to stay present while I'm talking and just let whatever God wants to come out in my speech. And it's worked so good for me so far. Heart-centered speak is the way to advance this channel. And, it's very difficult. It is. That I'm not going to deny it. I know it's hard. It's the easiest thing in the world, in reality. But getting the presence down, getting the constantly going back to your breath, constantly No matter what happens on the outside, no matter how scary it is or perceived to be scary, you always go back to the breath and you always go back to the present moment. That practice, that habit that you need to form is hard to form. We're completely conditioned to do the opposite since we were born, since we could speak or think. And that's a hard habit to break. So I understand, but this is the path forward for us. I'm sitting here. Nothing's going right for me on the outside. But nothing. Literally nothing. I'm sitting here, I got tore pants and a torn jacket, and I got financial difficulties like so many of us have. Yet I'm getting more and more and more optimistic. I know what this is. This is the last test before the big breakthrough. It's are you going to hold the faith no matter how hard it gets? Can you go back to the breath? Can you have that presence every single time? And I just find myself every time now. I'm not scared anymore, no matter what happens on the outside. It'll all work out. It's all fine. It's a mirror of what you're projecting from the inside. So you can, what we often do, at least that's what I've done, is fight and push back against what's happening on the outside. And it's just an exercise in futility. You will exhaust yourself. It won't work. You can't think your way through this. You'll get little wins, just enough to keep you going on that path. But you're never going to have complete freedom until you realize that you go inside is the only way forward. So you go in, you go to the present moment, you go to the breath, you go to the knowing that everything's going to be okay. No matter what's going on the outside. And when you do that consistently enough, and you prove to the universe that you will continue to do this no matter what happens, then you've passed that test, and then it will come for you. In my last video, I spoke about how this group that I'm attached to here, my soul tribe, is something big is coming for us. And this is why. This is what it is. This is the reason that something big is coming. Because we are all reaching this point at the same general time. That's why we're a soul tribe. We're all starting to understand that the only way forward is inward. And that as you hold the light inward, your outward world will start to reflect it. You just have to hold that. You just have to hold that through this last test. You really do. This is the way forward. You're going to win, guys. Just don't give up yet. I can see it. I'm at such peace now. I've been having nightmares for like a week. Just terrifying stuff. I won't even go into it. But it's a test, And in the old days, I would have had those, and then I would have woken up, and I wouldn't have taken the time to clear that energy and have the realization that that's not real, and it would have bothered me throughout the day, maybe even days, especially if it kept continuing. And now it takes me 5 minutes in the morning to just clear that out. Back to the breath, back to the realization. Let the peace invade every cell of your body as soon as you wake up, and wipe all that negative energy out of there. And have the knowing. Have that invade your body again. And what a great feeling when you start to realize that you can do that no matter what's going on. This is how certain people, through unbelievable persecution and terrible things that society has done to them, have been able to hold this light. And it's through faith. This is what faith is. when nothing on the outside seems to make any sense, and it's all serving to suppress your light, can you still hold it? I can, and I will. I don't care what happens anymore. I know with 100% certainty on the outside that if I can just hold this light inside, my outward world is going to reflect it. Sooner or later, it has no choice. So, and another thing I've been doing is kind of an experiment. I've been going out in the world, into grocery stores or wherever, the things you all need to do, and actively trying to raise my vibration before I go in. So in the past, I would just try to shield myself from the outside world. I'd set up a white pyramid of light, and I would go out into the world, and I would just try to have it not drain me. But I've reached a point where now I do the opposite. I go heart-centered, raise my vibration as high as possible, and then push myself out into the world. I don't recommend this unless you've reached a certain point, because it will start to drain you as you go through that environment. It's going to start draining you. But I've noticed huge changes in my interactions out, and synchronicities increasing. So I know this is the right step. It's time to start projecting outward. I've gotten strong enough. I've grown enough to where I can do this. So I've been pushing my energy out, and like I said, I'm getting amazing interactions in the grocery store. I was joking with a couple about the husband was at the cash, and the wife was just going to go get one more thing, and then as she was going to get the one more thing, he showed up, and it was hilarious, because that's what my wife and I do every single time we go to the grocery store. She just runs off to go get one more thing. So I picked his side, of course. But anyway, these interactions are amazing, and this isn't how it usually goes for me, because I'm not projecting my positive energy out. I'm just shielding myself from attacks from the outside. And if you do this enough, you push out, you will get a good result. This is the mirroring effect. So I think I'll leave it there. Go inward. Feel the peace that's inside there. No matter what your outward experience is, go inward, go back to the breath, always. And then when you get strong enough, start pushing some of that out into this world and see what happens for you. I think I'll leave it there. Like I always say, I hope this video finds you well. I love you all, and we'll see you soon.